So what I wanted to look at next, if we have a few more minutes, is to look at the what you would need to do in order to join the academy. So what do you need to do to prepare for your audition? For undergraduate programs, we look for a balanced and stylistically contrasting program of 15 minutes duration. For postgrads, this is the same, but at least 20 minutes duration, so a longer program. That's what we look for. You have many accompaniment options, because we know that it's difficult at the moment to find a pianist sometimes. So you can record with a pianist, or you can also play unaccompanied, even if your piece is accompanied. You can also play with a pre-recorded track, or you can choose to play solo works. So I'm just going to look about a little into the idea of auditions, and there are three main types of auditions. There's a standard open audition with a panel, which is probably the one you're most familiar with. There's also the screened or the blind audition, which I described. And there is the recorded audition, which is the type of audition that you need to do for your entrance audition. And auditions are part of the music career, so it's really important. They don't stop even when you become professional. You still need to do auditions even as a professional musician, so it's really great practice to be doing them to get into music college. So here are a few tips for entrance auditions, and I've broken them down into planning, practice ideas, and final preparations. So firstly, for planning, it's really important that you choose the right program and choose something that shows your strengths. Don't choose a piece that's a little bit too difficult that you can't quite manage. You know, that's great to study, but don't choose that for your audition. First impressions also count, so do think about your program order. Plan a strict practice routine and set deadlines when your pieces must be concert ready. Organise run-throughs and mock auditions for anyone who will listen, for your friends, you know, play to your friends, play to your family, play to your dog, anyone who will listen to you, and plan those mock auditions and set those deadlines for when you want to have your whole audition program ready. Also, do research the institution that you're applying for and the course that you're looking to study on. All our handbooks are online, and you can find lots of information there, because it's really important that you consider what are the panel looking for, and it's important that when you're making your audition that you're thinking that you know what the course entails. So at the Academy, we're really happy to tell you about what we're looking for. We're looking for accurate intonation, we're looking for good rhythm, we're looking for thoughtful dynamics and an understanding of style. We're also looking for personality as well, and professionalism. So an excellent work ethic and a drive to succeed, a curiosity and a willingness to learn, and a passion for music and performance. That internal passion is irreplicable, and it's absolutely essential to have that if you want to study music. This is a career. It's a career for people who are doing it not just for financial reasons. You're doing it because of your love of it, and that you believe that you want to do it, and that's what all artists do, and you need to have that if you want to study music performance. We're also looking for potential for progress and development, and that's really important. We're not expecting that every candidate will have had the same quality of study, and we're really searching for potential whenever we're looking out for new candidates at our auditions. So practice ideas. Firstly, do make sure that your fundamentals are right. As I mentioned before, that your intonation, your rhythm, your dynamics, and your style are all there. Then after that, I would really suggest that you use recording in your practice, especially because this is going to be a recorded audition. So I would suggest recording yourself both audio and video, because you learn different things from both, and to use recordings during your practice by listening back to short sections, during interspersed, and using that as part of your practice. And then as you get further on with your planning, then plan these larger run-throughs and record those run-throughs or whole auditions. Listen back to them with the score in a separate place. Put your instrument down, listen back with the score, make notes, have a break then, and then implement the changes in your next practice session. So next we're going to be looking at practice techniques, and I'm going to be asking you all, I'm giving you advance warning, if you might turn your camera back on at this point, to share some of your interesting practice techniques. So my top tip is to use random practice instead of block practice. So what does this mean? Some of you might already know what this is, but for those who don't, block practice is when we practice the same thing or a similar thing in succession. So that's what we normally do. We go through our piece and we practice the hard bits and we repeat them over and over again, slowly, then a little bit faster with metronome, etc. So they get faster, so they get better. But random practice is also a really great practice method, and this means to intersperse different types of practice together, to interleave practice. So this might be starting in different places in your pieces each time. That's a really basic way, or to intersperse technical exercises when practicing your concerto. So you might do, a short section for concerto, then you'll go to a technical exercise and you'll do a related study relating to that part of the concerto, then you go back to your concerto. And that is also a random practice idea. And there are loads more that you can find, and I'd really highly recommend a website called Bulletproof Musician, which has loads of fantastic practice techniques suggested. It's written by a performance psychologist from Juilliard called Noah Kagayama. And using random practice techniques is really fantastic for security, for reliability, so that you know that you can present the same level that you and replicate what you can do in the practice room in a high stakes performance. And it's really good also for memory. So I'm going to see if I can get to the end here. The final preparations really simulate those pressure situations and have your mock auditions and run your auditions at uncomfortable times. Prepare everything, not just what you're playing, really all these things, walking in, sound height. And for recorded auditions, make sure you've considered everything, the camera framing, the quality of your sound and where the microphone is placed, and ensuring that your acoustic is right as well. So my very last thing to say is that maintain a positive perspective. Auditions are a fundamental part of a musician's career.